Evening, everyone. I have to readjust this again. So,
Good evening, Mayor.
how's everybody? Good?
Good.
Ready to rock? Everybody looks good. Everybody looks rested. What's up with that? All right, getting set up on some last minute housekeeping here. We'll start in about 3 minutes or so. Let's see, we're almost all here. I think we're missing Mayor Pro Tem. There you are. Hey, Brenda.
Good evening, everyone.
All right, looks like we're ready to take off here. Before we get started, I'm going to have Barbie take the lead on reading and statement to the record, and then she will also do the roll call. So Barbie, it's yours.
Thank you. Good evening. I want to go over a couple of logistics regarding this meeting. Participants that may not be familiar with Zoom, please make sure to keep your camera on during the meeting and mute yourself when you're not talking. Board members, the mayor will be calling on each of you individually to provide comments and votes. When voting, please remember to identify yourself by stating your name and your vote. If you would like to speak at any point during the meeting, please raise your hand and be mindful of your background. If we are in the middle of a presentation and you are raising your hand but not being called on, Please feel free to speak up. Most importantly, we want to make sure board members are able to participate in the meeting fully. If you experience any technical difficulties and are accidentally exited out of the meeting, please notify me via text so we can suspend the discussion. Next, we'll need to take the roll call. Please indicate if you are present. Mayor Pappas,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem McMillon,
Present.
Commissioner Jason Hall,
Present.
Commissioner Ann Simpson,
Present.
Commissioner Tracy Westlick,
Present.
Commissioner Pedro Morey.
Present.
Thank you. All members are present. Mayor, I'll turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you, Barbie. All right, this meeting of August 24th, 2021 is now called to order. Before we get started, if you could please stand with me and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for just a brief moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, everybody, thank you very much for that. We'll drop down to adoption of tonight's agenda. I have one requested change on one is to delete item number F2. This is for Lieutenant Zill. He could not be on with us tonight, so they're going to take his recognition in another direction as far as going to probably do it at the town or at the police department at a later date. So any other requests on the adoption of the agenda? All right, seeing no hands up there, may I have a motion, please?
Motion to adopt the agenda with correction.
Thank you, Brenda. We have a motion to adopt the agenda as published with the one change. So roll call vote as we go along. We'll start with Commissioner Simpson.
Commissioner Simpson, aye.
Commissioner Morey,
Commissioner Morey, aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Commissioner Hall, aye.
Commissioner Westlick,
Commissioner Westlick, aye.
back to Mayor Pro Tem.
Brenda McMillon, aye.
Very good. We are in adopted. Thank you very much for that. As I understand it, we have no public comments tonight on either side. So is that true, Barbie? We're still good on that?
That's correct. That's correct, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll move down to the consent agenda. Seems pretty simple, but let's go through the motion. How about somebody give me a motion for that?
I'll make the motion to approve the consent agenda.
Terrific. We have a motion to approve. Going to roll call vote again. Commissioner Morey,
Commissioner Morey, aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Commissioner Hall, aye.
Commissioner Westlick,
Commissioner Westlick, aye.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Brenda McMillon, aye.
back to Commissioner Simpson.
Commissioner Simpson, aye.
Thank you, everybody. That was pretty painless. We actually get to move down to a second spot. I guess right now we go to recognitions. And so up from this is Miss Dina. If you're up on the screen, log in and we'll recognize you. There you are.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you. I would like to share my screen to introduce one of our new team members. There we go. I'd like to introduce Mr. Chris Blanchard. He is one of our new team members with Park and Rec, and he started on August the 11th. We've already broken him in with 2 events already with Jammin' Valley Tracks and Back to School Bash. He's thoroughly and enjoying his work so far. We haven't ran him off yet, but he is born and raised in Union County. Currently lives in Indian Trail with his wife and his 2-year-old daughter, and she's a sweetheart. He's already been out to Gem Valley Tracks as well, Miss Lily. And he comes to us with a background in construction and landscaping, which fits into our skill set here. Looks forward to working with us and growing with us, which is something that I am totally interested in, building that team. And he looks like he wants to grow with us. So that's encouraging for us. We're just glad to have him. And if you see him out and about in the trucks and in the parks and at our events, please say hello. And when we're back in person, I'll probably have a team come to the BOC so you can meet all those new shining faces. And that's all I have.
Is he going to be online with us tonight at all?
No, ma'am. No, sir. No, not tonight.
That's great. Okay, well, I've seen him out there and seems like a very nice gentleman and a good welcome addition to your team. And as you build this team again, we really look for a lot of great things to happen. So thank you for that find, and we look forward to continuing on. So thank you, Dina. Appreciate that. All right, any other comments on that one from anybody else on the screen here? All right, seeing no hands, we're going to drop it down to presentations. Miss Lisa is going to be up on this one. So as soon as you can get signed in, Lisa, you can have the floor.
Good evening.
There you are. Welcome. Floor is yours, Lisa. Presentation on the census analysis. So this ought to be interesting.
Thank you so much. Preliminary data was released this month, including data on population, race, and housing occupancy. So the presentation tonight in front of you is to update you kind of high level on what we know so far and what we need to do with that information. The 2020 census marked the 24th census in US history. This was the first time that we were able to respond to the census online. The population of the US metro areas grew by 9% from 2010 to 2020, with 86% of the population living in those areas. The map on the screen here shows the population change in North Carolina since 2010. You have the brown areas, meaning a loss of population, and then the teal areas show a gain in population. More than 78% of North Carolina's population growth over the last decade occurred in the Charlotte and Raleigh metro areas, while more than half of the state's counties actually lost population. Charlotte itself grew about 19.6%. This is a graphic from Union County that was done in, I think, 2018. At that time, they projected 242,474 residents. Their actual 2020 number came in at 238,267. The county grew 18.37% over the last 10 years. Which brings us to Waxhaw. In 2010, our population was 9,915. In 2020, the population was 20,534. This is 108.5% growth over the last 10 years. This next graphic compares Waxhaw to some of the larger municipalities in Union County. You have Stallings with a population of 16,112. They grew about 16%. Monroe, 34,562. They grew about 5%. And then Indian Trail is close to 40,000. That grew about 19%. And then I show Waxhaw again with our 108% growth. How do we compare to other municipalities in the state? This chart shows that we are the 9th fastest growing municipality in the state. And notable here is we're the only municipality over 10,000. Now let's take a look at our race. Our Hispanic population grew about 188%, and our Hispanic and Black population are about 8% of our total population. And then we have our Asian and Pacific Island population that grew 601%. This information can all be viewed on the census website. It's broken down to census blocks and tracts. We're still in the process of downloading some of this information into our GIS system so we can see the municipal boundaries and the roads. But I took a screenshot here outlined in black as one of our census tracts showing it's probably the Millbridge area, grew about 125%. And then the race and ethnicity growth is there as well. So what does this all mean? With all this growth, we need to continue to analyze and survey the wants and needs of our residents. My predecessor here, Town Manager Jeff Wells, along with the planning staff and this board, did a great job in realizing the changes needed to our land use plan map, which is our land use goals and objectives, and then the changes to the LDC to implement and regulate that land use plan map. Through their growth strategy initiatives, which included public input surveys, public meetings, they came up with 4 themes to improve traffic congestion, maintain small town charm, increase opportunities for local commerce, and improve bicycle and pedestrian connectivity viable to destinations. They also realized our property tax revenue was imbalanced with our high number of residents compared to our non-residential parcels, which demands a very high cost to serve. The 4 themes in the residential tax imbalance called for a coordinated solution that could address all these issues together. Growth areas were created and strategically placed to attract a specific blend of land uses. And this is how we came up with our future land use plan. By having this plan, we can now, which I think you guys adopted back in March, we can now facilitate employment growth in key areas. We can plan for future transportation projects, including the Waxhaw Parkway, keep more trips local and support the local commerce, and then again, diversify that tax base and housing stock. I wanted to bring this all forward again because the work is obviously not done. While keeping in mind our goals, we need to continue partnerships with outside agencies, including NCDOT, CRTPO, and Union County. We'll need to discuss the planning areas around our borders to make sure that road connections are made. We'll need a long-term plan for water and especially sewer. We'll continue to need survey our folks, considering how many new residents we have. Dina will stay busy with our future Parks and Rec plans to make sure that we are keeping up with the demand. And then we'll continuously have to update our CIP that you all approved for the first time this year. So as more data comes in, we'll keep you updated, but the future is bright in Waxhaw. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great, thanks, Lisa. That's really a lot of information. It looks like, if I recall right, we are now moved up into the number 3 position as far as size of communities behind Monroe and Indian Trail. I think we beat Stallings. I think they're almost out of their growth opportunities there. They're at 16,000. We're a little over 4,000 greater than that. So that's recognizable, and certainly all the more reason to have a plan and follow the plan. So applauds to this board as well in taking on that last year and putting our growth strategies together along with our LDC so we can have that playbook to follow. I get a lot of comments as I'm out in the communities. A lot of people really do understand that we have to have a plan in place, and they recognize that and they see some of the changes. So we need to continue on that path. We have grown. We are no longer the small little sleepy town. that we once were. When I moved here in '04, I think the population was maybe 5,500. So it's grown quite a bit. So it's great that we are now tracking this and we're doing it on a frequent basis rather than before being surprised and capsized. And so appreciate that effort. I want it to continue, at least from my own personal standpoint. And it'll really help all of you start to make decisions in the future. So any comments from the board on this? All the way across. Jeff, I see your mic is open.
Yes, just one comment. Excellent presentation, given the current lay of the land here in Waxhaw. And I just want to mention how proud I am of town staff and the board for taking on this hard task of recognizing the growth and planning for it. We're ready for the future, and that's great for everybody here. Another side note is that we will be building a web page that will provide a link to the census data as it continues to come out, and we'll do some of our own graphics as well. Lisa will be working with myself and our new website administrator to build that page.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff. All right, well, we are growing forward, so let's keep on moving it down the line and make sure that we try to cover as best as we all can those items that are facing us and focus on what we can deliver and understand what we cannot deliver, work on those resolutions as we go forward. But let's focus on the things that are in front of us right now and not get distracted by things that we really can't do. So with that, as I'm looking around the screen up here, any other comments? Anybody wants to dive in? And nothing up there right now. So actually, I'm going to drop it all the way back down. We have nothing on the public hearing side tonight. No old business, no new business. And Jeff, it's going to go back to you in the town leadership report. So you're first up.
All right, great. Thank you, Mayor. 4 short topics to discuss this evening. We're all set for the start of Waxhaw 101. September 1st, that's a week from this Wednesday. We have 17 total participants. Again, that'll be 9 sessions each Wednesday through the end of October. So looking forward to seeing our 17 participants live and in person. And we'll be getting out to all the logistical information of those folks later this week. Tax bills will be going out later this week. And as always, they will be due by early January. So remember, if you escrow your taxes, the bill is mailed directly to the mortgage company. We do encourage you to check with your mortgage company to make sure that the taxes are paid. And if you've been driving around town here lately in the last few days, you'll probably notice that our CIP signs are up. And we are showcasing our initial CIP projects in and around town. McDonald Street, you'll see the sign up there where the TAP grant is on East North Main. There's a couple of different examples. They look great, and they provide just some basic information on there, what the title of the or the subject matter and title of the project is. And of course, for more information, you can check out our website. We also put QR codes on there as well for people to be able to quickly learn more information on there right on site if they'd like to do that. And last but not least, I am going to share my screen with just a basic slide. Just want to share with the group here and anybody out there watching how proud we are of Melody Schuler as she just completed her year as the president of the North Carolina Association of Municipal Clerks. So I just put together a basic slide here. We have a before and we have an after picture. So the before picture there is the mayor just saying some general remarks about Melody to the crowd there. And then the after picture with the big smile is when she was sworn in as what everybody loves to be, the immediate past president of an organization. So just wanted to mention again how proud we are of your leadership that you provided to all your peers for the last year. Several of us were able to make the banquet on Saturday night. The Clerks Association had their annual conference during the middle to end part of the week, and then the banquet was on Saturday evening up in Greensboro at the Grand Over Resort. It was a great time. I think the folks that were there, myself, Ron, Ann, and Tracy, we bugged out when they started doing the cha-cha slide. I think that was time for us to leave, but it was a great time had by all there. We're very proud of you, Melody.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you to the board for all your overwhelming support through all this. It was a wonderful journey. I am very happy to have handed the gavel over to my predecessor. So thank you again for all your support.
It was a good run, and I got to tell you, from my standpoint, that room was very warm to Melody there. I did call her town daughter when she was up there. I think that embarrassed her, but it was a lot of fun. She is and has been very well received. I had lots of people come up to me while I was there and telling me how proud they were of her, both professionally and her personal growth in that role for the last year. So Melody, very, very well-deserved comments there, and we congratulate you on moving to the next step. So we had a lot of fun there. Thank you for including us. I think if I could count the room and the tables, there's probably 250 people in the room, somewhere around there. Pretty close.
Pretty close.
Close. So a lot of 10 tops out there. So it was a great evening and a great example actually over there on an older but very well executed master plan community over there. They have a mix of residential and commercial and retail, and then this resort and golf course. I think it was started in the late 60s or so. And it is in some cases mature, and in other cases they have some brand new starts in there. So it's a huge community. I didn't even take a look to see how big it is, but it's a great example for us to look at as well. So, but again, back to Melody on this. Thank you for showing them and allowing us to be showcased there. Now every municipal clerk in the state of North Carolina knows who we are and where we are. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, with that, Jeff, anything else on your list?
No, sir, nothing else.
Good, I'm gonna drop it down to Miss Dina, and I say drop down because she's just below you on the screen of my Hollywood squares here. So Miss Dina, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Go. All righty. I'm going to give you an update on what's going on in the Park and Rec world and all of our events coming up. As you know, we're finishing out our program guide for the summer, and that ends in September. So there's still a few classes for you to be able to partake in. So please check out Rec Desk to join us in future programming. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have the walking group with Miss Justine. Love to have you a part of it. It's a great way to see our downtown and to meet your neighbors. We have pottery tomorrow night. I think it is almost full if it's not already full. I know we're getting close this afternoon, but please check base with us if you would like to join in. Seniors are having glass fuse class this coming up Thursday. We're also having hand building firing, clay firing class coming up in September. Miss Gladys is going to join us for senior coffee in September. This is also one of those wonderful opportunities to learn about our history in Waxhaw. So we are actually going to be able to tape Miss Gladys so we can have that history recorded for future. So we're extremely excited about that. And then we have also another game day of senior coffee. Tomorrow we're at Barnes Park in the morning for a wild time. So learn about animals and go on a little safari in Barnes Park at 9:30 in the morning. And then we're switching over in September to the afternoon to be more accommodating for our elementary kids to come to the Hero Project. And we finish out in September and look for a new program guide for the rest of the year from October to December for new adventures with the Hero coming near you soon. Event calendar that is on our website and on our Facebook page. This is a great way to go ahead and mark that calendar for the rest of the year and into the spring. And so you can join us for all the awesome events that Waxhaw has to give. Coming up this Friday is our last Jammin'. We have a community mural that we're starting off at 6 o'clock. So please come and come paint with us. And then at 7, the Jammin' by the Tracks starts. And we would love to have you there. We have a couple food trucks, but we have an awesome venue in downtown of wonderful restaurants that you can partake as well. Coming up on 9/11 is Patriot Day. This is the basic outline of the agenda. I'll be sending out, myself and Miss Mary will be sending out a full length agenda to our Facebook and our website and to the BOC. But the ceremony starts at 8 a.m. at the Military Honor Wall in our downtown. We'll have tables set up with some activity, and then also plenty of chairs, and the festivities will start at 8 a.m. sharp because we're on a tight agenda timeline on that event. So please come and remember with us. We have a blood drive coming up in September and a skate night also in September. Please sign up both with the blood drive with the American Red Cross and then skate night on Rec Desk with the Rec Department. So we're actually closer to 90% on the construction document. So had lots of meetings the last couple of days. So thoroughly excited. We are going over staff review now and getting those comments back. So again, once closer, all those moving parts are starting to calm down so we can get those golden shovels out for us to start our new downtown park, which we're all super excited about. We are always looking for volunteers. Mr. James is our volunteer contact here at the office. So please get in touch with him if you would love to volunteer with us with programs, events, or just coming out and help out with the park. So we truly do appreciate that. Miss Justine is finishing up our program guide for October to December, and she's still looking for those special instructors. So if you are interested in sharing your gifts with us, please contact Miss Justine, and we would love to have you a part of the Park and Rec family. And I'll leave you with our vision and mission as always. And thank you all for your support. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those.
Very good. I see Miss Brenda's got a question up there. Brenda?
Not a question, but just on the Patriots Day program, the agenda item, it said guest speaker, and guest didn't have a U in there. Just want to make sure it's correct.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Brenda. Appreciate that. Any other comments, questions for Miss Dina? She's getting shovels ready for all of us. We're getting real excited about that. So if there are no other questions, Miss Dina, thank you. Again, thank you for all your work and building that team to give our town things to do. For one, keeping us informed. It's a great way for citizens to gather. And if we're out there, as a lot of us are during any of these events, it's where we make a lot of connections with our residents, and we can be the ambassadors to share information, because there's a lot of questions out there all the time. So other than that, seeing no further raised hands back there, as I look up at the screen, we do not have anything further to talk on that. I do have one comment I wanted to back up on the Board of Commissioners here. Is I just wanted to give a shout out to Todd and his public services team for doing all the installs on all those signs that are going up everywhere. I think we have one large one yet to go up on the town campus site. I didn't go by there today to see if they got that up, but they not only installed the signs, but they built the frames for them. They're basically the raw material, the backgrounds. And so we want to give a shout out to them. They did a great job. They got it out there early. I think I saw the signs the other day and they are almost all up now. And I think there were 7 or 8 of them, Jeff, if I remember, that's what they were. So, and sometimes that ground is not soft dirt. And so they had to get in it and in some cases had to look for utilities, make sure they didn't poke through any of those. So.
That's correct, Mayor, and the town campus one should be up by the end of the week.
Very good. Appreciate that. All right, any other comments from the board, the commissioners, anything that you've got to add to it that we didn't already cover today? It's kind of an easy meeting today, but as you can tell, a lot of things going on. And so we're just continue to grow forward and we will continue to do so no matter what. How's that? All right, so no hands going up there. I'll close this part of it and we have nothing on the closed session side. So y'all can race for this one. We'll see who gives the first to call for the adjournment. Or you guys are killing me.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, motion to adjourn. We're gonna have to go round robin on this again. Commissioner Morey,
Commissioner Maury, aye.
Commissioner Hall,
Commissioner Hall, aye.
Commissioner Simpson,
Commissioner Simpson, aye.
Pro Tem,
Brenda McMillon, aye.
back to Commissioner Westlake.
Commissioner Westlake, aye.
All right, it's a wrap again, everybody. Thank you for all the hard work, hanging in there and everything that we got to do. Charlie, thank you for sitting in again tonight. We appreciate that. And
Yes, sir.
everybody, I'll say goodnight.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.